Bourne Bokator had been in the prison cell for 286 days before his chance to get out arose. How he got there was not as cut and dry. Bourne couldn't remember his parents. One had died during his birth, he had been told. "A sign of Iripen's mark on your life," the High Shaman had said. The other, grief-stricken, had abandoned his older brother Adrian with his baby brothers Arno and Bourne. They were taken in by a temple that provided them all the necessities they needed, the Golgari. But they were not a normal temple, a cult of Iripen, who instead of following the typical doctrine everything has its time, were so zealously devoted to death. And as Bourne grew, a boy as bright as him, but brainwashed by such an overbearing force, he wanted to please the only family he'd ever known. And at 15, he made his first gun. A rifle called the Rotting Swarm. Such destructive power of death held the Golgari's attention, and they inducted Bourne further into the Assassin Order Orcus, a fold of the Golgari that specialized in death. Here, Bourne received his last name, Bokator, a true sign of his place in the family of the Golgari. For 7 years, Bokator climbed his way through the hierarchy of Orcus, earning the title of Stillflash, taking out the victims he was assigned with deadly power. But people do not end up in prison because they are good at what they do. If you're Bourne Bokator, the Stillflash of the Orcus Assassins, you end up there because you angered someone. The target of that mission is not important to this story, because like every target of Orcus, they lay motionless in mulch 6 feet under today. The person who is important is the woman that Bourne walked into when leaving the scene of his job. A youngish woman with lithe elven features set on a human frame, a half-elf named Acelia, a clerical member of the John Arc Monastery in the area. A chance encounter by the fates, possibly to pull him away from the cult that had brainwashed him. But one does not end up in prison because a beautiful and kind woman managed to pull an assassin from the cultist's life. One does not end up in prison because they fall in love with this kind and brilliant cleric of knowledge. One does not end up in prison because of the secrets your trust in such a brilliant mind gave up. One does not end up in prison because they try to set down their rifle and live a married life with this cleric. One does not end up in prison because at 25 years old a cleric and former assassin have a child. One does end up in prison when 2 years later, one night this cult of the goddess of death steals this family into the woods. One does end up in prison because the High Shaman controls the mind of one of the most advanced assassins to kill the blasphemers that took him away from the embrace of the Golgari. Bourne Bokator ends up in prison because the regret of killing his own family and the anger at this cult that had brainwashed him since youth made him take shots at the 6 members that had witnessed their deaths. The High Shaman and Elven caster that barely escaped the storm of bullets. Her 2 blade guards, a human man, Derek, that caught one to the temple, shattering his cheekbone, leaving intense scars and blindness on his right side, and a half-orc woman, Garnot, that saved the shaman. 2 members of the High Council of Orcus, a tiefling man, Lucius, that managed to kick the rifle away first, and Torin, a green-scaled dragonborn who managed to hold him down. And the caster who put him to sleep before he woke up in his cell, the Air Genasi named Swift. Bourne made this list and mulled it over for 286 days, until he met a verdant rogue that offered him a path out. One does not end up in prison because they are a good person. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this is a relatively newer thing I'm doing story times based on the backstory of my D&D characters, but I really enjoy it. I work really hard on making super long and intense backstories for characters because adventurers aren't happy people. And it provides a really nice outlet for my creative process other than the drawings that you see while I do this. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. If you go through the rest of my stuff on my channel, Minding the Cringe, make sure to click subscribe. I'm not going to ask you to ring the bell because the bell is stupid. They need to get rid of it. Maybe leave a comment down below about, I don't know, your favorite D&D character backstory. That would be fun to read. And, steal from? My backstories don't tend to be super duper original, but I like them. So anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you all eventually. Bye.